So for the past 3 days, I've been sat inside this house. I haven't been out. I haven't left the house. I have just been confined to these 4 walls. And I hate that. As an active person by nature, to not be able to do anything, to not be able to go outside, to not be able to ride my bike, to not be able to even walk to the shop is killing me. Here's a quick update on my ankle. Kind of the same. There just seems to be that one line of bruising down the side, and then it's bruised over the top of my foot. It's still a little bit swollen, but for the most part the swollen has gone down quite a lot. And the pain, like, I can walk around not too bad now. What I can't really do though is lift my foot up like this. Therefore I still can't ride, because when you're riding you're constantly moving your foot up and down like this. So that sucks, but at least now I can walk a little bit. So I'm booked in tonight at 6 PM to see the physio, but before then, I figured that I would take the dogs out for a walk. I'm just gonna take it real easy, keep my foot flat, that way it doesn't really hurt. I'm in Parkhole Woods, which is right by my house, and also up here is an abandoned theme park called Camelot that I spent a large proportion of my childhood at. No, I'm not going to go into it, but what I am going to do, I'm going to go near it, take the drone up and get some drone shots of the roller coasters. The reason is because I'm working on a little bit of a side project, and some drone shots of this theme park would be absolutely ideal for what I need. So that's the agenda of this morning. It's not that exciting, but it is for me because I'm outside the house. This is the first time in 3 days that I've actually gone somewhere and done something. Over the past few days, I've been thinking about whether to upload a different type of content, perhaps where I just sit at my desk and talk about a subject in cycling, but then I thought, you know, that's not me. It's kind of like I'm going to do that for the purpose of making a video, but that's not me. I enjoy vlogging. I enjoy being creative and making the edits within the vlogs and stuff, and yeah, I just decided that that type of content wasn't really me. So I thought, you know what, a couple of days off to really focus on my recovery, and now we're back. Come on, Sam, come on. I will leave you. Goodbye. Alright, so it looks to me like we're at the closest point now to the theme park without actually going into the grounds. So it looks like here's going to be the best place to take off the drone and hopefully get the shots that I want. Success, kind of. I just caught my leg on a little bit of a branch there, but it is super windy today. I didn't think it was going to be possible to get some smooth drone shots, but it really was. That DJI Mavic Pro really does excel itself. But yeah, got some good shots. Hopefully I can show you this little project that I'm working on in the next week or two. It's nothing major, just a fun little project, and it was a good excuse finally to get myself out of the house. Now I'm going to walk back, get in the car, drive home, and allow my foot to relax for a little bit, and I don't really know what else. My days at the minute are pretty much plan free because I kind of just want to focus on the recovery, so I'm not entirely sure where the rest of the day is going to take us. I've spent some time this afternoon cleaning up this bike. Literally as I started recording, a plane decided to fly over. I spent some time this afternoon cleaning up this bike a little bit because I made a last minute decision that I was going to sell this bike. The reason is because I've had this bike for a couple of years now, and next season when the race season comes, I fancy a new bike. So I've kind of got it in my head now that I'm going to buy a new time trial bike next year. So I figured if I kept this one until I decide to get a new one next year, the value of this is going to decrease even more because it's going to be even older than it currently is now. So if I know I'm going to sell it anyway next season, I might as well sell it now. That way I can get the highest value I possibly can out of it. The time trial season now in the UK for this year is pretty much over anyway, and especially with this ankle, I'm not going to be doing any more time trials, so I figured now would be a good time to sell this bike. But if you can hear that, the frame's got this kind of matte finish to it, and it makes it so hard to clean. Believe it or not, I've actually already sold that time trial bike. I put it on Facebook like an hour ago, and within an hour, someone who lives pretty close to me wants to buy it. That's pretty cool. It's a good job I've cleaned it all up today. But when I'm injured, when I can't really do a lot, I get bored. Like, seriously bored when I can't do anything. And when I do get bored, I eat. And I eat a lot. I seriously need to back off. It's a good job I've got a fast metabolism. But whilst we're on the subject of nutrition, someone asked me yesterday, and I get asked this question quite a lot, and that is, how do I feel myself during a 20-minute interval? And I think this is a great question question because it's kind of like that borderline of where you do need fluids or some food, or where you don't need to take on any fuel. So for me personally, I like to keep it very simple. I normally do about an hour of riding first, where I will drink sort of between 300 and 400 millilitres of fluids during that 1 hour. Now that's on a typical British day when it might be 17 degrees outside, so it's not super hot, you're not sweating loads. On a typical ride, I would eat on the hour every hour. However, because on the hour I'm starting the first 20-minute effort, I don't like to eat just before I'm starting to do an effort, because it will just make you feel sick and you won't feel great at all. So up until the first hour, all I will do is drink water or drink energy drink, whatever I've got with me on that day. I will do the first interval and then I will have my first piece of food. I will then have between 10 and 20 minutes easy between the intervals, and then after the final interval I will have my second piece of food. Now actually during the intervals itself, obviously I won't take any food, because that would be pretty hard to do when you're going full gas. Trying to get a bar and eat a bar out your pocket isn't very ideal. However, once or twice I will reach down and grab a quick drink of my bottle, stick it back in, and then continue with my effort. I found pretty easily that you can go hard whilst drinking, so even though you're doing a 20-minute sweet spot interval, you can still reach down and grab a drink and put the bottle back in whilst maintaining your set power. Alright, it's heading up to the physio now. Luckily it's only like a couple of streets down, so I can just walk there and I don't have to drive. And also hopefully you can give me some sort of indication as to how long I'm going to be off the bike. I'm pretty sure this thing isn't that serious. I'm pretty sure it's only going to be at like most a week, but we'll go and see what he says. We're on the small camera now, really fast turnaround there after the physio. He was running a little bit late, and that meant I'm slightly late to go and drop off this frame that's in the back. As I talked about earlier in the vlog, I put it up for sale, and within like an hour or two it's already been sold. So I'm heading over to Lancaster Services, where I'm going to meet the guy who's bought it. However, because the physio ran over a little bit, which I'm not going to complain, I got an hour and a half for the price of 1 hour, but it means I'm in a little bit of a rush now. But anyway, the physio said that I have... Why have you not got any lights on, man? If you're cycling in the evening, put lights on your bike. It's just not, it's not hard, is it? Anyway, the physio said that I've strained my ATFL. I've strained my ATFL ligament. He did some laser treatment on it. The laser basically speeds up the healing process. He said it's very hard to gauge how long that's going to take. It could take, you know, a couple of days, or if my body doesn't react well to the laser, it could take a couple of weeks. We're just going to have to play it out, wait and see. However, I'm hoping it's more the lower end of that spectrum. And just like that, the Cervelo has gone. I didn't film the guy who was buying it. I thought that would be a little bit weird, but frame's gone. Feel a little bit sad to have let that frame go. Even though I'm not going to use it anymore this year, and I'm going to get a new one next year. I've ridden that bike for like 2 years. But it was the right decision to make, and that's going to be the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow at 5 PM.